All right, good morning. We're live, yes, from Fly on the Wall Productions. Nice to have you on board. It is a beautiful day out today. Just stellar. Going to be another real nice one today. Roger Hill is saying temps again into the upper 70s, and in parts of the Champlain Valley could easily get into the lower 80s today, which is, it's always that snap when we come out of the cool weather and we dive headfirst into summertime. And gosh, Jason Gauthier, our Vermont blood is not used to the sudden change, isn't it?
No.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I was saying yesterday, we were talking about you and the fact that you're going to be on this morning, that you were the first sponsor, I think, of Aired Out. Back in 2018. I don't know how old Ryan was then, but he was definitely extremely young. I think he was too young to be running a mower, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yeah. He was probably riding on it with me, but
right.
not running it himself.
Yeah. And now look at what he's doing. He's your right-hand man.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yeah.
Jeez.
In a time where help is hard to find, it's nice to have somebody that lives with you that can help you out.
Sure. Now, have you? Are we at the point now where you can just hand them the car keys and say, "Go"?
Not quite.
No, not yet.
You're not quite there. So what's the deal now? How old are you?
I'm going to be 16 June 1st.
Oh my gosh, that's like tomorrow. So, do you have your learner's permit and everything?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. He's been driving. Does really well.
He does.
Yeah. A lot of experience on a mower before that.
Well, that's it. Yeah. It's about, just having your eyes open and paying attention. Think about where you want to go before you go there. All these things, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Wow. So now, at some point, he's going to have his own truck, Dad. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. That's in the works.
Is it in the works?
Yep.
And be able to, and you will be able to say, look, I'm going to go do this job. You go do that job. See you later. I'll meet up with you at noon.
Yep.
Those days are coming real fast.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Right. Wow. So, Ryan, you were literally born into everything that your dad's doing.
Yep.
It's just become second nature for you now. Wow. So, Gauthiers Quality Grounds and Maintenance, we have a big announcement from you guys that's coming up this morning. But first, before we get to that, how long have you been around? How did this whole thing start?
Well, it really started. I started mowing when I was 9 years old, so a little before Ryan's time. But so then in high school, I had a business. It was just quality grounds maintenance at that time. It was a business that we had taken over from a friend of ours, who was graduating high school and doing other things. So me and a friend of mine took that over. We did it in high school, and then essentially parents said, you got to get a job that's going to pay, benefits, all this stuff. This isn't ever going to pan out. This is good for high school, but not for now.
Yeah.
And if I'd have known then what I know now, I'd have kept going.
Sure.
I mean, goodness. But rewind probably, 10 years out of high school, I was like, man, I really want to do this again. You know, it's something that was always something that I wanted to do. Even my high school yearbook, I said, I want to own a successful landscaping company.
Wow.
And and here we are, 11 years into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 11 years in, and I'm guessing that the first couple are one step forward, two steps back, maybe. I mean, it's not an easy thing to start up.
That's for sure. Yeah. So essentially I had like 7 people that I took on that I was doing after delivering propane. So I just started with them, just something to do after work. I was working 7 to 3 and kind of bored after work. So I figured I'd take on a few lawns to mow because I've always loved doing it. When I decided to make the change and actually do this for a career and a business, sent letters to them, put an ad in the world, and it's just taken off from there. Word of mouth has been really good for me, and of course, good people like you that advertise. And
yeah, word of mouth is essential, and let's be honest. when we say word, it can be a dangerous thing. I mean, if bad news spreads fast, so you have to protect your reputation, and you got to be consistent with it.
Sure.
These are all things that this man sitting right next to you is has definitely learned. I learned that from my dad.
Sure.
But he's definitely learning from you. You got to do a good job every time. And if something doesn't go well, you got to go back to that customer and look them square in the eye and make it right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You got to have that ability. Got to, kind of think about things ahead of time. Like I said, I've been planning for this for most of my life,
Long time,
essentially.
yeah.
So it comes down to, getting the experience.
Sure.
I've worked for other people, construction, other areas, and definitely getting the experience, to lead up to this.
Yeah.
Making sure that, YouTube's good for homeowners that, have a question about something if they need it fixed or whatever.
Right,
but
right.
If you're a professional and you've got to look to YouTube, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, right.
And you just really can't beat hands-on experience, getting in and doing the job.
Sure.
There are things you're going to face and come up with that, experience is going to help you through.
That's right.
You can't just make it up on the fly.
Yeah.
Or you can, but you're probably going to run into issues, and it's going to come around to get you.
Sure. Sure. And this isn't just about mowing lawns. I mean, there's plowing, and there's 4 seasons involved here.
Sure.
One of them can get real messy. I'm sure you've had quite a bit of dirt under the fingernails, but you've got there's a lot of stuff that you guys do. It's when we say property maintenance, that's a pretty big umbrella.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, just make sure that, if there's drainage issues, anything like that, you're taking care of those.
Right.
It's just, again, coming down with experience in construction, knowing you got to divert the water and how to do that successfully.
Right.
You can run into a lot of issues with water damage.
Oh, yeah. Quickly.
Yep.
Very quickly.
Yep.
So, here you are, you're mowing. We get into landscaping, and then if there's going to be landscaping, beautification and all that, and wood chips, and there's a ton with that. But then you start getting into landscaping can quickly turn into retaining walls and maybe even some masonry.
Sure.
We're starting to cross into a whole different thing here, and you've done that.
Yep, absolutely. Just throughout the years, going in, starting a project, having the knowledge from previous employers, working with them, and then putting that practice into work on my own, making sure that everything is done correctly from the start to the finish.
Sure.
When you get into walls, you got to have, a lot of people like to backfill with dirt because it's convenient. It's there. You've taken it out probably from where you've dug, but that's really not, in this climate, it's not really the right way to backfill with.
Yeah.
You can run into issues where the wall is eventually going to keep pushing. When you fill the dirt with water, and that expands, it's just going to cause pushing issues, and you could have the wall fall over in a short period of time. Where when I like to build them so that they're going to be there for the duration
forever.
Until somebody else takes them down if they want to.
And deal with the ridiculous variations in climate up here and what's happening to the heaving in the ground and all that. Yeah, so obviously Ryan's learning all this stuff.
Yep. I try to do like employers did with me, bring him in and just explain the process, and then have him work right there doing it as well.
Yeah.
So he gets that practice and the know-how and everything to go behind whatever we're doing.
It's tough work. At the end of the day, he knows. I mean, you feel it. And let's be honest, Dad probably feels it a little bit more than you do. And you probably recover a heck of a lot faster than Dad, I'm guessing. So here we go. We got mowing, we got weed whacking, we've got landscaping, we've got with that retaining walls, fencing.
Yep.
That's added to the list. You guys are doing plenty of that. And then maybe I've seen your page. We stalk you a little bit, but you've done some concrete stuff. You built in your own home through all of this.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, that's definitely an experience. I built 2 homes, designed, excavated, built them from the ground up. That I took building trades in high school to learn that aspect. Recently, this past winter, I've worked for a couple of the best carpenters in Central Vermont, doing renovations. They do kitchens, bathrooms, that stuff. Getting experience in the carpentry field, more experience. You can never beat more experience.
Sure.
When you're doing stuff. If you have an opportunity to learn from somebody that's been in it for 40 years, you take that opportunity and you learn.
And look at these guys that have come over and helped you break ground building your home over there in East Barrie. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of good friends and good people that I work with.
It's a network.
It is, absolutely. Yeah, you could have a good group of people behind you.
Yeah.
And I like to be very selective in that. Know the people I'm working with. And just try to keep that reputation with them.
Right.
And they've got experience in their field, so that it just keeps going.
Sure.
It shows in the products and what you're doing. So.
We're talking with Jason Gauthier and Ryan Gauthier of Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance, right here serving Central Vermont. This morning, one of our sponsors from day one when we started this podcast. You were the first one to jump on. 2018. Was that 5 years ago? I think.
Yep.
I can't do something like that. But just remarkable. The word trust is kind of your foundation. You've got to trust Ryan. Ryan needs to trust you. Your customers need to trust you. Your contractors that you're working with that are being subbed out where you might be on standby to do something after they're done. You've got to trust them. They have to trust you. Everyone has to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I recently saw a post this morning, kind of what we've been talking about, making sure that the people that you hire have the experience, because you're going to pay later on. If you find out, it could be a year down the road, it could be a few years down the road, but if something's not done right at your house, it's going to come back to get you. It might have been cheap at the time.
Sure.
Repairs are never cheap.
Yes. We always say when we're posting stuff about you guys that you're reliable and that you're trustworthy and that you're honest with your estimates. Of course, there's always going to be unforeseen things, but when you're trying to bid out a job, you're being as honest and transparent, and also anticipating that things may not go perfectly, and that there should be some play there, some room for financially and money and time, man. That's like
absolutely
everything.
Yeah, that's huge, especially these days. Everything costs so much money. And so you gotta, make sure that you're within your budget.
Yeah.
Like you said, things do happen, but again, having the knowledge ahead of time to ask the right questions.
Sure.
When you're looking at the job and everything, to have that, so you can kind of anticipate those things ahead of time. And again, like you said, add it into the estimate or have a cushion there, in case something happens. Because you definitely want to do the job right at the start and make sure that it goes right the whole job.
And Ryan, you're learning all about insurance and being properly licensed and all this stuff.
Yep.
It's a lot of stuff, man. That's a lot of work.
Yep.
You've got to be fully insured if you're going to do stuff like this.
Absolutely. Yep. You want somebody that's going to be insured in case something happens,
Right, sure.
even,
They pull their back out, whatever.
Yeah, things happen, in the job, whatever. So you got to be insured to it not only protects you, but it protects the customer.
Sure.
It takes away all the guesswork and whatever. If something happens, you don't want to leave them liable for something you've done.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Absolutely.
And you've got to do all of this with your impeccable reputation, which you guys have, and be affordable at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's a competitive business. There's a lot of competition out there. But
it's a fine dance between. It's a very fine dance with how to make your phone ring.
Yep.
And just keep the workflow coming in.
Yep.
It's a very delicate dance for sure. So you what are we missing here? You're doing all of these things, right? Plus, you come up to me a few years ago and say, I got a great idea. I'm going to add in trash removal and barn cleanouts, garage cleanouts and stuff to the list. And I think you said, I hope my wife doesn't kill me, but I got to do this. How is Trash King going on, which is part of Gauthiers Quality Grounds and Maintenance? How's that happening?
Oh, it's going pretty well. We've picked up quite a few people. I've added recently probably 4 or 5 new people. That's kind of, again, a side business. So
Right.
I try to not to make it too big and spread myself out too much.
Sure.
But it's pretty decent right now as far as, customer base, and, it keeps me busy, and it's working out real well.
So you can have weekly trash removal, monthly, one time clean out.
Yep. Every other week service. Yeah, we're providing that. So, yeah.
Wow. There's more need now than ever for Ryan to be driving his own rig.
Absolutely.
With a
Yep.
smile on his face. God.
Yeah.
Especially with Trash King. So your customer base is growing with that.
Yep.
Do you have any
Yeah.
more room for any more customers for?
That's kind of pushing right now.
Wow.
To keep so that, I always say that I want the good customer base, but if I ever got to the point where I can't be, in person or dealing with my customers in person,
Right.
I like that hands-on, being able to take care of people. I always said if I got too big that it was time to scale back.
Yeah.
And keeping it so that I can pay the bills, keep the lights on, provide for my family. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But then keeping that customer relationship and keeping it to where it's manageable for me.
Yep.
And I think of my customers as an extension of my family.
Yes, you do.
And to keep them, to where they know they can call me with any concerns or anything like that, and then I can help them out if I can, in a
Right.
pinch, whatever, and to keep that relationship and strive
And
to keep that.
I've heard this from you numerous times, how important the relationship is. That these are not just clients; these are friends. These are maybe started out as clients and they turn into friends and family that you really care about, and that relationship has to be strong, and they have to trust you, and you have to know them. Especially, you've had some elderly customers that they just really rely on you to be there and be honest with them and
For sure.
do the work, so they don't have to sit around and worry about it.
Yep.
And you check in on them too and make sure they're okay.
Yep, for sure. They're the ones that were out there doing it before us.
Yeah.
They've earned that place in society to be able to stay home and trust the people that they're hiring
Sure.
to get things done and to have it done right.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's, we got no place for people that take advantage of older people.
Yep.
Anybody for that matter, but especially
right.
the older ones.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you do residential and commercial.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a few commercial properties we take care of, and really good relationship with them as well. And
And we're not just talking about landscaping here. We're talking about plowing too.
yep. Yeah. It's a well-rounded business. We try to do a little bit of everything, and use the experience that I've had growing up from anything from building to all that
Yeah.
incorporated in. And
So you have no time off. I mean, if you have a few hours here on a Sunday or whatever, you're working on your house, building your house.
so far, yeah, that's been a difficult balance the past couple of years, which I figured it would be.
You've got to have a wife who's very patient.
Oh yeah, and she's right there with me too. She takes time off for her job to help me out on projects. If I'm getting somewhere where it's a bigger job, she takes time off for that, and she's been a real big help as far as getting the house done. That's 22 years of being together, and
Yeah.
couldn't do it without her.
I'm going to drop your phone number here in the comments. Again, Jason Gauthier, Gauthiers Quality Grounds and Maintenance, 505-8041. I'm also going to put your email in here as well. What are you taking on right now?
It's mostly like landscaping projects and like
Okay.
that. The mowing list is getting pretty full right now. I've got to look at a couple other mowing jobs, but for right now, we're getting pretty tapped out with that. But landscaping projects for the summer and
All right. So
Yeah.
if someone's watching, listening, reading this, they should get on this right away.
yep,
Because
schedule
they-
fills up fast.
Yeah, they may be told that you just don't have the availability to take on new customers at some point.
Yeah, unfortunately in this area, we've got a limited amount of time that we can get things done, and then snow takes over and everything kind of gets put on hold, unfortunately. And
Right.
so,
Wow.
yeah.
Amazing. So we have we have a big announcement that you're going to be getting into here.
Absolutely.
Before we do that though, before we pull the trigger on this, let's say how important it is that if folks out there have a good experience with their contractor, with a restaurant, with whoever the heck it is, take the time to post your positive experience on social media. We humans naturally kind of default to wanting to always post the negative stuff up if we've had a negative experience. But we encourage customers anywhere, no matter what establishment you visit or who your maintenance guy is, who your contractor is, who's putting the roof on your house, whatever it may be. If you're having a good experience, blast that on Facebook. Let everyone know, hey, this guy is here, he's on time, he's reliable, he's affordable, he's trustworthy. It's important.
Absolutely.
It's more important now than it seems like it ever has been before, because everyone's kind of freaking out about stuff right now.
Yeah.
We need to know who's who, who's what, that they're licensed, that they're insured, they're the real deal. They're not some fly-by-night contractor or landscaping guy.
Yep. Definitely having references as well. Have them provide references. If they get upset about that, then they're probably not the person for you.
Sure.
And then two, all the trades right now, plumbing, electrical, building,
That's right.
everybody is short-staffed right now, and it's hard to get somebody.
Yeah.
But patience is a virtue, and it really will help you in the long run if you can get somebody that's got a good reputation, that's been in it for a while, all that, just waiting on them. If you got somebody that shows up real quick, that can get it done real
Yeah.
quick,
Yeah.
it's again probably
That's super eager to
Yeah.
finish things up.
yeah. Patience in the long run is going to save you a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can get somebody that has a good reputation. If you got to wait a little bit, it's probably worth it.
Definitely. Definitely. Instead of cutting a corner here. You've had several jobs where you get them started, you're thinking it's going to be whatever, 3 weeks, whatever. You get into it and you realize it's going to be 5 weeks.
Yep.
And that can happen without any
Yep.
patience is key. You said it, and it
Yep.
really is. Do the job right.
Absolutely.
And you're teaching
then-
your son that.
Yeah. Yep.
Do it
Just
right.
have that. Yeah. I would never want to get into a place where I've left somebody where it's, I know it's not right, and I just leave the job. That's
Sound just like my dad. He was the same way. So, do you want to? We're going to spill the beans here.
absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. I can only imagine what this is. You've had on your social media a healthy amount of teasing that's been going on for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it's there's the clues that you've dropped out there that you'd be kind of breaking the news here on Aired Out, which we're honored to be the source of. But the clues have been a little kind of weird. There's like we're seeing palm trees, and we're seeing pictures of Vermont. I mean, can I guess what I think it is?
Sure.
That you're going to be finding a palm tree that can grow in the climate up here, and you're going to bring millions of palm trees up here and plant them all over Vermont. Is that it?
I wish that was the case. That'd be kind of nice.
But we're also seeing pictures of like the ocean and stuff like that. Are you guys moving down south? What's going on?
Not right off. Nope.
All right.
No, we love what we do here. We've got a good reputation here, good customer base, and all that. Just for me, I absolutely hate winter.
Yeah.
It's a long period of time with not too much sunlight. I
Yeah.
tell people I'm solar powered, and if the sun's out, I can go all day long. But when the sun's not out, I just want to hibernate.
Yeah.
So we had an opportunity, just a quick trip in February down to Myrtle Beach, and that to me is my happy place.
In February.
Yep.
February.
So we were down there, 72 degrees, and leave to come back here, and it's 27. Not much sunlight, cold. You got to be inside. You're kind of trapped. So I got thinking about this idea, and I've got a really good lighting company that's behind me, and they're one of their lighting specialists. Her and I have been kind of collaborating on this for an idea. So I pitched it to her and I've got right here, we're just registered with the state of Vermont for, it's going to be called the Original Carolina Shed.
Wow.
So forget the he shed, forget the she shed, forget the man cave. Jump on the beach wave.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. So that's the name of the new spin-off biz.
Yep.
The Original Carolina Shed.
Yep.
What is this? What is this?
Essentially a space that we're going to provide. If you got a spare room in your house, you're not sure what to do with, or if you get an old bar area or something you want renovated, we're going to do. It's going to be all surrounded around the beach, as far as lighting and everything too. Just a place where you can go in the wintertime and have what you need, vitamin D essentially.
That's it.
Sunlight. Kind of mimic that, and just an area where you can go, and it'll be
quiet
and just peaceful, and like the beach, and you can get away from all of what's going on outside in the cold and miserable temperatures.
So folks down south are doing this.
To my knowledge, this is a really new concept. Like I said, they had the he shed or the she shed probably where they could go out. But as far as up here, it's just going to be an area that really mimics that type of
like a tranquil area.
Yep, and just some place where you can escape the cold and just find happiness in your day.
Wow.
Yep.
Man, do we need that. So, I mean, my wheels are already turning, and I'm like, can you bring in a dump truck load of sand and fill?
We're thinking about it.
Fill that road.
We're trying to research all different areas, as far as bringing the outside in and
I'm half
and
joking.
all that.
I'm half joking.
Oh, no, we were thinking about that. I was thinking about making a little area where there's beach sand and you can have your hammock and, tropical vibes.
Isn't that amazing?
Little tiki bar going on where you can get your drinks and sit in your hammock and
maybe have a wood stove in that room so you can wow.
Well, the lighting company actually does heat pumps as well, so we're trying to look at different ways to be very efficient in the heating and all that, so it adds minimal cost as far as heating and all that stuff for your space. So we're looking into, still in the preliminary stages, but we got a lot of ideas, and as things go, I'm actually going to take, I've got 1 or 2 spaces at my house that I'm going to start renovating into one of these. So I'm hoping we can do a little on-site advertising from there to show the progress and all that, and show what we can do.
Please let me know. I mean, I'll be watching your page and,
Sure.
and seeing you build this, but I mean, I'd love to come over and go live over there at some point as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What a concept! It's essentially kind of an escape room.
Yeah.
Isolation. Isolation. You step into a different world for a little while.
Yeah. Like I said, I hate winter. Delivering propane and snow up to my neck for 10 years kind of ruined winter for me. And every year I just get more and more where I want to leave.
Yeah.
But I love the area in the summertime. I love the people that I work with and for. So that's what's keeping me here.
Yeah.
And if I can keep more people here and just make them happy here and they can go on vacation once in a while,
Right.
That works out too.
And disappear from reality and step into this.
Sure. Have friends over, to enjoy the space and just, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're talking, like I said, we've got a lot of different ideas. So we're this is the concept. And then as far as the ideas, if people get in touch with us, we can kind of discuss further the real get down to the creativity and the, what we can do with the space and all that.
Right.
We're looking at getting some trademarks and stuff on, so I can't really go into a lot of detail, but
Right.
As far as ideas and things that we have. So
What size room are we talking about here? Like, what's the smallest and
you can do whatever you're comfortable with.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just going to be a matter of looking at the lighting situation and what you have for space, and then
Sure.
coming up with an idea to make that space fit what you want to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
and go into this area and maybe even, my God, put on your sunglasses.
Yeah. Yeah. They're doing all kinds of stuff with lighting these days as
Sure
far
they
as, fiber optics and LED lights and all
Yeah.
this. It really keeps it to where, again, the cost is, going to be minimal as far as what it'll add to the, if you're changing out fixtures and all
Sure,
that. It might
sure.
actually even improving them over the old fixtures that you have in your place.
Right.
So,
Glenn is asking, is this in our homes?
you can do that. Yeah. A room in your house if you want to. Yep. Yep.
But not necessarily. You can also have this outside.
Oh, yeah, we can definitely build a space. If you get to where you want to do that, we can
Yeah.
build a space outside using my knowledge of carpentry and all that.
It's amazing. Raylene and I are always talking about mental health.
Oh, yeah.
On Aired Out and how important it is. And we all, I think we all need a little bit of work with regard to mental health. We just need to find different ways, different hobbies, different people to welcome into our lives that make us feel good, make us feel happy.
Absolutely.
But music and sound therapy and Reiki and massage, these are all things that are coming more and more into play now.
Sure.
That we are, I don't want to say post-pandemic, but it's becoming more and more important.
Yep.
That people are finding a way or an area where they can go and meditate or just be quiet. Leave your cell phone somewhere else
Sure.
and just go and unplug for a little while. I mean, even like, we talk about how important exercise is, 20, 30 minutes a day. I mean, if you could give yourself, some peace and quiet.
Sure. Yeah.
Uninterrupted time.
Yep. Just
to
a
be
place
alone.
for the family to gather and whatever.
Sure.
Talking about me if we can go as far as putting a pool table in there. There's
Wow.
it all depends on your budget and whatever
Right.
you want to do. Like I said, go small or go large.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, I'm just imagining this original Carolina shed out in the yard, maybe 5 by 10 or something, but having a big old thick stress skin panel on it and have some sound isolation and a padlock on the friggin' door to keep everybody away. That's where I'm at. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So in the next few months, I'm going to be working, like I said, we've got really good lighting company we're going to work with, and lighting specialist there. And then I'm going to be looking for local people as well for other materials and stuff too. Try to keep it local,
Sure.
and help out other businesses as well. And
Wow.
and yeah, so.
So when do we want to start pulling the trigger on this thing?
Oh, I'm going this weekend to make a few connections. And again, I'm going to continue this and keep it going. And as things start coming in and we see areas for other things that we need, then, I'll definitely reach out to other businesses as well and keep going for, yeah.
This is so cool, and all of the inspiration behind this is just coming from your trip to, what is it, South or North Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yep.
In the middle of February.
Yeah.
Different planet down there.
Oh, goodness, yeah. I mean, we left the day that it was turning 45 below here is when we left, and it was just a huge improvement on my mental,
Yeah.
status
Even
at the
in
time.
a short period of time.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how I'd have handled the rest of winter if I didn't have that little break and go down and just,
Yeah.
because it can tend to last so long here, and especially in our minds, you just day after day so. Just
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so interested. I mean, of course, I've got an available room in my house, but an old studio that I had built in there that needs to be cleaned out. But you'll do that too.
Oh yeah.
You'll
clean
do that
it
too.
out.
You're cleaning out a garage while he's mowing and weed whacking and landscaping, so that you can figure out an area for one of these original Carolina sheds. This is so cool, man.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
how do people? Of course, a lot of people immediately would jump to how much.
Sure.
Can I afford this? Is it even possible? Is it feasible for me right now? And that's a loaded question. It depends on a lot of variables.
Sure. Like it says, this isn't just the preliminary stages. I've got some, quotes on some like big lighting just to see kind of, what we're looking at as far as price, and it's really manageable. And then the company I'm working with has a lot of options for lighting. They deal with a lot of people as far as vendors and all that stuff. So, like I said, sky's the limit. You could do a simple one change out of a light in your room just to make it so that it more mimics sun. I mean, and then you can go from there to,
Yeah.
Yep. So
and I'm always kind of thinking back to the beach theme, but it most certainly doesn't have to be that. It can be more of a tropical environment. You can have a lot of plants in there.
Sure. Yeah, house plants and things like that. Even changing the color of paint on your wall and making it more of that line, something
right.
as simple as that, and some lights. I mean, and then
Yeah.
you can go from there. If you like the ideas and you want to research, want us to research how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we could do the legwork on that, and
Wow. Yeah. So what are you saying to people right now? If they can obviously contact you right now
Yep,
and say,
sure.
"Hey, I want to learn more about this."
Yep. Yeah, or this is the space I have. This is what I'm kind of thinking, and then we can add in what we're thinking as well, and kind of collaborate on it. And
All right, I'm just putting some more information here in the comments. But you're local. You're right here.
Yep, right in
East Barry.
Yep. You probably know my house.
Yes, we
right
do.
on the corner of 110, where the old nasty house used to be.
And the key words there are used to be.
Yep.
You took that down?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. The state was happy. The town was happy. The neighbors were out cheering. People going by giving us thumbs up. I mean, that was the best feeling in the world right there. It was just and that's what I knew when I bought that property. That's what I knew. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And also, along with the Carolina sheds, when I bought the property, I said that my property is going to be a showpiece for my landscaping business. And
Sure.
so that's what I'm working on as well, is making some contacts to make that happen. I've got a landscape architect that I work with, and then so it's going to start happening this summer now that I don't have to play around with taking the other house down and dealing with that. I'm going to have some time to finish my siding and do what I love to do right at my own place. So I'm
good
looking
for
forward
you.
to it.
Good for you. Wow. This is so unique. This is so unique. And if folks want to get involved with you, they have other ideas they want to bring into. Well, I mean, look at what we can do with this, man.
Oh, sure.
You know, you get a water fountain in there. You know, just the sound of water alone is tremendous.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. The lighting company I'm working with has also some sound people they work with, so we're in some ideas with that as far as so.
This is incredible, you guys.
Yep. I'd like to. I just want to say so much, but like I said, we're just working on some trademarks and things. So we're getting the concept out there, so we can start making some contacts, and then, like I said, I'll be happy to discuss with people, our other ideas. But
wow. And you're still gonna be doing this along with taking on a few more customers for mowing.
Yep.
And landscaping.
So, yep. And if we build the shed for you, we can definitely landscape around it. Again, it all depends on what your budget, what you want to do. And
somebody someday is going to be asking you guys to build them an underground bunker. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
where we really can escape from everything, go underground to the beach or whatever. It's so amazing. Your dad, Ryan, has always got great ideas, but he really thinks them over, big time, and pushes them around in his head for a long time, and thinks about all of the the different angles and what needs to be what, get it all buttoned up.
Yeah, I think winter forces me to do that. That's when I tend to go into drawing and just get into my creative side, and just that's my way of escaping. Ever since I was a kid, my parents always said, we can tell something's wrong because you're drawing, or whatever. I just go into that to escape what's going on. So I try to use winter to get creative and think of different stuff for landscaping and different ideas that we can incorporate into projects. And
sure.
So
what's the best way to find you? I mean, I just put up there your phone number, but it's primarily on Facebook, right?
Yeah, it's under my name right now. I'm going to be working at that as well, as far as trying to get maybe a website or something like that too that people can go to as we get into this process. Again, as I renovate one of the spaces, I'm going to be posting progress and like that, and then also I'm going to try to set it up as we go and get our trademarks and things we're looking for to protect our interests. Then I'll start posting more, as far as, what we're up to and what we can do. And so
we're all visual. People need to, they need to hear it, of course, but they need to see it. They need to see it.
Yeah,
what it's going to be like.
Yep.
So that's important. Visual representation. I mean, visually, we see your trucks going by all the time, and your trailer, which is not hard to miss. It was Yipes that did that, right?
Absolutely. Yep. I've got some more work coming up for them too, as well. I've been wanting to do the other sides of my trailer and all that stuff, and they've got some concepts they've designed for me. Just a matter of getting some time to where I can leave the trailer and.
Wow.
But it's always the issue is time.
Yes, of course. What about hiring a few more guys? Is that something that you're thinking about, or you want to keep it as small family owned as possible?
Yeah, small family owned. My wife keeps after me. When can I come work for you? So we'll see.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's just just again keeping it to where we can provide and. Don't want to make a killing, just want to make a living.
Sure.
I'm not into getting so big that, I've got to spend all my time with that. Family's important to me. And,
right.
And being able to go on vacation and, we're leaving the end of this month. We're going to do a little reconnaissance for our sheds. We got some ideas, and we're going to pick up some materials. We want to try to use a lot of southern, actually elements from the South
Yeah.
in our sheds as well. So we're going to go down there, and the lighting specialist that I'm working with, it's her family and my family going. So we're going to go down and do a lot of research and maybe make some contacts down there as well. And so...
And when we say sheds, this isn't just an external thing. This can be, we call it a shed, but it can also be, like you said, a room in your house.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, it's just the concept came up as the shed, so that's the name I'm using. But absolutely, it's not limited. That's for sure.
This is remarkable. I'm sure you're going to be. Your wheels are always turning, and you're always thinking about what the next thing is going to be.
Yep.
It's so awesome. We're going to be obviously watching, listening, paying attention to what you guys are doing. If there's any developments with this, you're gonna call me and tell me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So that was my posting of pictures. Like I said, it had a theme, so it was the building side of it, but then it's also the southern part of it that we're going to incorporate into it.
Yeah.
Somebody thought I was building a Krispy Kreme. I wish I could, but that's not going to happen right now.
Wow. But you could have a Krispy Kreme theme inside your shed.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Maybe I get a supplier down there to ship donuts. I don't know.
You know what you're doing more than anything, Jason, is you're building something that you're creating and handing to your son. And he is obviously has taken several batons here and will continue to. But you're building up something that's going to be wonderful for him to continue to maintain and manage and carry
For sure.
on.
Yep. One of the companies
After
I
you're
work for.
gone.
Oh yeah. One of the companies I work for, I kind of saw that in their relationship where the father built up the company and his son came right along just like Ryan, right during high school and all that. And then now his son runs a company and his dad's, pretty retired, but comes and works because he loves to work and so do I. So if he ever needs help when I retire, we can do that.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
But I won't be retiring for a while.
Who do we give a shout out to? Who does all your maintenance and all your mowers, weed whackers, and your equipment and everything? Is it you?
Oh, so I do just very little bit of it. I know just enough to be dangerous, so I try to stay away from that. Again, I like to save myself money too, so I hire somebody that's very trustworthy. I got L&R Motors in Williamstown who has my enclosed trailer with all my stuff. Well, most of my stuff. I still got a couple pieces to get to him, but he's going to go through, sharpen the blades, oil changes, all that stuff, just to get everything ready. And he always does really well with getting, he's like, what's your priority? So he'll work on that and get it done just so I can have it. And then, so.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep, he's a really good guy, and it takes pressure off of me. I can go do my thing, clean up, start things,
Right.
get things going for the season. And when I need him, then he's got the stuff right there. So,
Wow.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Again,
And he understands when you need something to get it turned around.
Yep, and he's just
Time
really
is
busy
money.
with tire changeovers and all that stuff, but he fits me in, and he does, again, that's going along with, like I was talking about earlier, having that core group of people that are really good at what they do, but they understand your side too as well, as
Yes.
far as timing and all that stuff.
Yes.
So, it's just having that relationship and building that and continuing that trust with them to keep things going. That's, what makes me successful is the people I work with and around. So.
Well, this young man's learning your ethic. He really is.
I hope so. My dad taught me treat people the way you want to be treated. You always do a good job, do the best you can. I've always said if you don't like doing something, do it extremely well because then you don't have to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
But if you love what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life. It's just, every day is just you go out and do what you love to do.
Like you say, it's not just a job, it's a passion. That's kind of your slogan.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I've known that about you since I met you, that you genuinely really enjoy doing what you're doing.
Yep.
And I've seen you 95 degrees with long pants and a shirt covered in grass clippings and sweat, but you got a smile on your face, and
Well,
you love doing this.
Yep. That's what people thought we were moving, but that's definitely not
Yeah,
the case.
I know, a lot of people saw
I just
that.
want to bring that up here, and that experience up here for people that maybe haven't been able to experience that. Going on vacation is expensive, so if we
Sure
can
it
do
is.
that here, and it's a one-time thing, and you can enjoy it the rest of your life,
Right.
that's for me, bringing joy to people is something I love to do.
So cool, man.
And using creativity, whatever, to make that happen, and so.
Wow. The original Carolina shed coming soon. Coming almost immediately to Gauthiers Quality Grounds and Maintenance right here in Central Vermont. So cool, man. Along with Trash King and everything you guys are doing. You're doing a great job, man.
Thank you.
I'm going to be watching you again, but come back in here and give us an update on things.
Oh, for sure. Yep. And when I get going for making progress with the renovation, I'll have you over, and we can kind
Would
of
love
get
to.
into some more details.
Yeah. Sherry Fitch is saying the busiest guy in Central Vermont. So, yeah.
Yep. Great customers. I just, like I said, couldn't do it without them either. The people that you have for customers are what keeps you going as well. So, yep.
Thanks for coming in, boys.
No problem.
Thanks
it's
for
a pleasure.
thanks for sponsoring Aired Out. We love you.
Yeah. Wouldn't change that for the world. When you came to me, I was like, this is absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 years in, man. Have a great rest of your day. Get
Thank
busy,
you.
man. You got a busy schedule.
Yep. Today's trash day, so we'll be out doing that, and maybe some cleanups later. And we got a couple jobs to look at, so never a dull moment.
Wow.